Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Another episode of Trash Talk. With me tonight is VeShawn Owens, who's getting ready for a boxing match going down January 25th at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Without me tonight is TJ O'Connor. His son's kind of acting up a little bit. He had to, put him to sleep. Night. Trash Talk is brought to you again by Valhalla Combat Sports Incorporated, Spartan Martial Arts, Ink Streaks Tattoo out in New Brighton, Minnesota, Origin Wellness CBD Boutique out in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the Fighters, TJ's mom, James Clark's Sports Psychology and Hypnosis Therapy, and that was the last one. How are you doing tonight, VeShawn?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. Yeah, starting off the new year with a bang. I'm pretty excited for this fight coming up. It's a local promotion. Like, it's been a while since I've actually had like a fight with a promoter that's locally.
Yeah.
And I'm mad excited. Like, I mean, I've been fighting in Minnesota, but it's not like Minnesota grown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's real good. I'm excited. Me and my teammate is on there. Celso Ramirez, and we working hard. We always training. All year round. I ain't even do nothing too much for New Year's. Because I'm just focus. So I'm excited. I'm excited. To answer your question, I'm doing pretty good.
25 days out, feeling pretty good. Yeah, hell yeah. That's always good to hear, and then not partying too much over or doing anything really over New Year's. I mean, you got a fight coming up. I would imagine you not focus on too much other than just training. Leading up to this fight, there was rumors of it potentially being a title fight, but that might not necessarily have worked itself out. Do you have an opponent necessarily yet, or do you have a list of guys at all, or anything?
It's a list, and we just going through, like who's who or whatever. But I mean, like, with boxing, you never know. Like the person that you're really looking at, it could just days of the fight, he'll probably back out or whatever. So at this point, we're just training and being ready for whoever, just whatever that comes our way. Southpaw, orthodox, 6'7". So that's where my mindset is at. That's where our mindset is at.
Yeah, being ready for anything and everything is something that I think that you've proven with your record, proven with the time. Only 2 defeats, 11 losses, 10 knockouts, I believe. And man, you fought. You mentioned it earlier. You fought in everywhere. You fought in, I believe, for NBC Sports Network and PBC's the bigger name promotions, getting some TV experience, TV time. All of that speaks into the experience that you do have. But with all that experience behind you, expecting a new opponent, or let's say that they give you a guy that's not on the list that they gave you. Are you ready for that as well?
Of course. That's just the beauty of boxing, because it's like you never know until you step in the ring. You know what I mean? And plus, like, I've had so many amateur fights. With amateur, you never know who's in there. And so, like, I have that mindset of the guy could, even if it's not necessarily a good record, I always look at them like, okay, this dude is coming to knock my head off. That's how I think of everybody in front of me. He's coming to knock my head off. So, that being said, like, I'm ready for war. I'm ready for whatever.
Yeah. Well, okay. This is something that I'm actually confused on, because I've never had any amateur boxing experience. So I know that there's some tournaments. If a guy is signed up for certain tournaments, you might be able to find a bracket online. You might be able to find some sort of fight history online. But other than the videos, is there a way to look up and see exactly how many amateur boxing matches a current professional has actually had?
It depends. I mean, you know that 6'7" dude. And it wasn't really much on him, and he had like way more amateur experience than me. And it's
Yeah.
like it depends. And if you really like Inspector Gadget online, then you know you can find whatever. So,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Well, I've been getting better with my my Geraldo at large skills, scheming through the internet looking for his stuff. I other than the videos that are out there, I couldn't really find anything on you. For the people that don't know, me and VeShawn actually fought before. He won in like the second or third round, whatever. The sun was in my eye. But anyway, I couldn't find any experience, like anything really, except for a few videos. And I'm like, oh, those are older videos. They're not going to matter now. Blah, blah, blah. Is that something that you think is a little bit more deceiving for you going into certain fights just because you do have a lot of experience? And guys, it might be hidden from a lot of guys if they're not computer or tech savvy.
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, I knew a lot about you because you fought one of my teammates. So that's how I knew. That guy is the southpaw. Okay, all right. I called my team. I was like, how you? Okay, all right. So I mean, is if you have your resources or whatever, and I like the thing about me is probably weird, but a lot of the people I fought, I stay connected with. Me, for instance, me and Cordell Booker, we're like brothers. We talk all the time. And me and him tried to kill each other in Brooklyn. And so like, yeah, it's like I'm like that. Like, I'm just that guy. Like, come on, I smile a lot. I smile when people punching me. So you know what to tell you. So I mean, I use my resources. I connect with everybody. If this guy is from like St. Louis and there's nothing on him, I like, okay, I know some people from St. Louis. Let me hit this guy up right quick. Like, him or whatever. And that is boxing is a small community. Everybody think it's really big because there's so many fighters and so many weight classes. But it's a very small community, and we all like know each other. It's the sport, it's the love of the game. We just it's never nothing personal. I don't take nothing personal. There's only probably one fight I took very personal, and that was in the amateurs. This was like an Olympic qualifiers, and I still hate that dude. So, but it's that's just boxing. We live for this. This is our nature. We're like modern day gladiators. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So it's
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, that's cool. I was done anyway.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, like, you talk about the boxing community being such a small community, but the world is a relatively big place. Anytime you're talking about size, it's relative. Somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, the world's actually pretty small." Whatever. Come on, don't be an asshole, you guys. But the world is. There is some size to this world, even though the community's small. You might. I mean, granted, I've had most of my fights in Minnesota. I mean, I guess Philadelphia, New York, and a few other states. But I'm connected with guys out in California for some reason, and I've never been to California now one time in my life. Where are some of the places that you've been able to travel and people that you've been able to meet throughout your experience in boxing?
I've been everywhere, man.
Dude, now flashback moment right now.
Yeah, it got me thinking. Like, I've been everywhere. Like I've been all over the East Coast. I've been to Cali, like all the cities, freaking Oakland, uh, Oakland. What is that one city called? With all these cats, we had a POW tournament. It was just cats everywhere. I can't remember the city. You know, L.A., Hollywood, all over.
Yeah.
Cali, Vegas. What I think Vegas twice.
Yeah.
Um, dang. See, now you got me Florida, Miami, Orlando. Like I've been everywhere, man, and it's a very humbling experience. I've been to Wyoming. I don't know nothing about Wyoming. Been to Idaho. Like, man, it's it's.
Dude.
I didn't even know because like we had this USA national tournament and it was in Spokane, Washington, and we were like mad hungry, and then we were just trying to find something to eat, and it was like we just 10 minute drive, and then I asked this lady like this one little chicken spot. That's when I wasn't vegan. One
Yeah.
chicken spot, out in Spokane. She's like Spokane. She's like you're in Idaho. I was like Idaho with the potatoes. She's like, yeah, that Idaho, that Idaho. She got real irritated when I said that. So I mean, it's cool. I've I've done some traveling as a pro. I've fought a few guys in their hometown. But it's progressing. Like it's gonna progress. Like right now, I'm at that stage of just gradually building myself up. I'm in a different weight class now. I'm a legit welterweight now,
Okay.
and the gloves are thin. I'm used to fighting 10 ounces. Them 8 ounces, I'm looking at my knuckles. Like I could legitly see my knuckles in 8 ounce gloves. So and now very soon I'm gonna be doing 10 rounders. So I'm just progressing myself, getting until I actually start getting to the big leagues or whatever. I'm not in no rush or whatever. I'm still in the learning process. We're always learning every single fight. We're always learning and getting better. I've had my share of humps and I got right back up with a smile on my face and kept it pushing. So I mean, this is the game, and I love every minute of it.
Okay, I got two questions now. Now, this is one thing that I never really picked up on. I just wore the gloves that were given to me. How does the glove situation work between weight classes and the later rounds for you? Do you favor the later rounds, or do you prefer the 6 and 8 instead of the 10 and I guess 12's title fight, right?
Yeah, title. So far as the gloves, I mean, the cutoff is at 154. Like right when you hit 150. No, I take that back. 147. If it's any higher than 147, it could be 147.8. Then that's 10 ounces.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, but far as thank you for him. But the round, I actually prefer longer rounds. Like my fights don't really last that long, but I prefer longer rounds because I want to get very comfortable. Like I want to get comfortable in the ring. You know what I mean? Like it's always different. I love being in there, so I could just get so natural and comfortable to it. Some rings be super big, some be small, some got like the mat feels like carpet, some feel very slippery. So I think I had a pro fight with duct tape on it on the mat. But like so
Been there.
that's my thing. The longer the better. You know what I mean? And if it ends quick, it ends quick. I'd never try to like, oh, I want a 4 rounder. So no. I like to take my time. I like to take my time.
I didn't really start to understand like how to I don't know how to fight the longer rounds until I don't know recently. I mean I haven't fought in over 2 years and I've been technically retired for the last year, and now I feel like I'm putting it together because I don't go to the gym as much, and because of that, my cardio is fucking horrible, and it wasn't that great when I stopped. So when I go in now, everybody that's been training their cardio is just on fire. I have to fight conservatively, and I catch myself just like picking numerous body shots and just wearing guys out now. And I'm like, fuck, why the now I'm starting to learn how to
Now
fucking
you start to get it.
and it's like, wow, why didn't this click however many years ago, But but I definitely feel you when you say the longer rounds are just getting comfortable and stuff. And like the more a guy shows you, the more you can react to and the more you know how to react to. And it's just it's fun in there. It's like
it is. People don't see that.
Yeah.
They don't see that. They just think we're crazy. And I've always run into a lot of people be like, "Oh, you're a boxer? So you must got a lot of anger issues." I'm like, nah. They think we just savages and mad all the time. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, dude, I was a teacher. They're like, I feel sorry for them kids. Like, no, the kids, like, the kids love me. Like, come on now.
The kids probably were going around saying that you were one of the nicest ones.
Yeah.
There with no frustration because you had a place to let it out.
Exactly.
Anything, but oh man. Dude,
I actually had a question for you. I saw one of your posts. How does it feel fighting in front of Tyson?
Oh, dude. That was one of those fights where I cautiously I fought smart because one, I didn't want to lose in front of Tyson. But as soon as I felt an opportunity to throw a power shot or a big ass shot, dude, I went for it. And I missed almost every fucking every time. But I was clearly winning the fight. Like I was picking them apart, and it just. And then I'm like, and it was my birthday too. So I'm not losing on my birthday. And Tyson is here, all this crap and everything. So it was I was feeling a whole lot of not like pressure, but because leading up, walking into into the ring, didn't really feel shit, just thinking of it as any other time. Then as soon as we touch gloves, the bell rings, we touch gloves, and we take a step back. I'm like, oh shit, I can't lose in front of Mike Tyson. It's like all sudden, I'm like,
everything hits.
Yeah, dude, I never fought like you ever I don't know, like in sparring rounds and stuff where the coach is saying whoever he feels loses this round is running sprints, and this is at the end of practice. You're already tired and stuff like that. And okay, well, I'm not gonna lose at all. I know if I don't get beat up, I'm not gonna lose. So you fight all tense, and you just
I know exactly what you mean.
But then I knew in the back of my mind, I was like, I gotta knock this dude out. It's in front of Mike Tyson, and every time I went for it, I missed. Big. I was probably like swinging from like back here and send it to the crowd for a high five before I threw the punch. And man, it was bad, but I won.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's like, man, I'm a huge Tyson fan, and when I heard that, I was like, what? You stopped somebody? Yeah, because I read the whole post. I was like, you stopped somebody in front of Tyson?
Oh, no. That was the decision in front of Tyson. I stopped somebody in front of Hoist Gracie because I put those two together because Hoist Gracie is the guy.
Yeah.
He's the godfather. If it wasn't for him, cage fighting wouldn't exist. And that's where I was at. I'm like, out the traveling and everything. So I was like, granted, man, I wanted to learn how to box for my cage fighting, but when it came to boxing, I was like, dude, I can pay for 2 MMA camps with 1 boxing match, and I can go get some live sparring with some great, I was all like enthused about it. I'm like, like, man, I just really got fucking beat up. Just
you got beat up for what you really wanted to do, your cage fighting.
Yeah, but when I when I go back and look at it on paper, because I'm like in cage fighting, it's like I'm known for my hands and known for knocking people out. But in boxing, I have no knockouts and I lost a lot. He was like, "You known for your hands?" Yeah. Yep. All right. But I only got one loss in Muay Thai, or two, I guess. I get two. Yeah, I lost twice in Muay Thai.
That's still good though. That's still good.
I try to take those second place victories, where it's like say like guys like you. I lost to you, but you're going on and having more success, and you're not an asshole. So it makes me feel better about losing to guys like you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Oh my God, I got way off topic again. This is so back to the fight. January 25th, Minneapolis Convention Center. What can fans expect from VeShawn Owens that night, and why should they buy tickets and show up to watch you fight?
Oh, come on now. It's going to be magic. Come on now. It's going to be magic. Come on. I'm going to excite the crowd. You know how I do it. Like when I'm on stage, it's a performance. I'm dancing, baby. Everybody know how I do it. I'm gonna make it do what it do. What's my slogan? Oh, he gonna get this work.
Oh man, I definitely can't wait for that night. I'm gonna be there. This is gonna be pretty fucking sweet. Hopefully they let me set up and get post-fight interviews. I haven't done it at a boxing event yet, but I'm gonna. Shit, I'm Damian the Wolverine Hill. I do what the fuck I want.
Right.
No, but is there any teammates, sponsors, coaches, anybody you'd like to shout out, family members, anybody outside the gym, outside the team, outside of family you'd like to shout out before we wrap it up?
My number one supporter, my wife, my son, of course, my team, the Circle of Discipline. They always, that's my gym is family. My mom, my brothers, my sisters, my sponsors, protein water. Get that's fire. Protein water. Dang. It's like I got so many, but now it's like I get cluttered. My nephew T.O., he just passed, so this fight is for him. It's everybody. Minnesota. This fight for Minnesota. This for this is for everybody. Jamal Shango James is running for best round of the year. Go on www.pbc.com. Click that like button for Jamal James.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hit that subscribe button to Trash Talk with Damian and TJ while you're at it. This has been Trash Talk with Damian Hill and TJ O'Connor minus the TJ O'Connor. We out.
Are you listening? Damn.